Did you know that money talk can be foreplay? Today, we're talking about leveling up with love, money, and our relationships. And I'm going to tell you how to do both. Here's the problem. 20 to 40% of divorces end due to finances. Gen Xers divorce rates are as high as 50%. And then there are the couples that stay together because of money. Have you heard the term, it's cheaper to keep her? Well, that's these couples. It's cheaper to stay together, right? Whether they're miserable or not, it's cheaper to stay together. But that's not going to be us, right? Let me tell you one other statistics. 1 in 3 people are uncomfortable about talking about money. That is crazy. So here's the thing. Money isn't the problem. Not talking about money is the problem. You see, we go into these relationships as individuals. You have accounts, I have accounts. You have your bills, I have my bills. And most importantly, we have different belief systems, right? When Al and I got together, my belief system was you work a job until retirement and you save, you have an emergency fund, you live safe. Whereas our belief system was make as much money as you can and dream big. And so our belief systems were very, very different, right? And so let's talk about how shame and pride can impact the conversation about money, not to mention ego, self-esteem. Let's talk about income imbalances. If a woman makes more, that can be a problem. If a man makes too much and the woman make less, but the men have more say, these are all issues that can impact the conversation around money, right? We can function like this for a while, operating in different directions. It's like planning a vacation without talking. I'm planning a vacation for the family. We end up going to Miami. Al was thinking all along that we were going to go to New York. So after a period of time, you have to sit down and have the conversation about money. So what's the solution? For you guys, you see, women need security. I need to feel safe. How are we going to feed the family? Are our bills going to get paid? I need to know that first. Before we can even talk about intimacy, I need to feel safe and secure. Whereas you guys, I don't know if I'm speaking for all guys, but I know for my guy, waiting to the last minute is sufficient, right? He doesn't mind saying, and he would tell me often, don't sweat the small stuff. Whereas what he's referring to isn't even small to me, it's huge to me, but he thinks different than me. And so women, we need to be sensitive to the fact that men recognize the physical needs, but in their minds, it's gonna get done, right? And so men typically operate on a day-to-day basis. Whereas us women, we are on a need-to-know basis, like hour to hour, what is happening? Unless that's just for me. And I don't think it's just for me. I think I can speak for most women. So now, here's the solution. Do a strategy session. And what is a strategy session? I'll tell you. Al and I have improved our conversation and our marriage by planning a strategy session. And here at the strategy sessions, we create goals and we align together, right? Because where there is no vision, the people, including the couple, will perish. And what the strategy session does is give us common goals, place us in a common direction, and align us for teamwork. So what's required at this strategy session? First, timing. Don't plan the strategy session after a days of work, a full day of work, right? Plan it when you're both relaxed. Maybe you don't have the kids, you have a babysitter, maybe you have a glass of wine, it's a relaxed environment. Then we're gonna have the strategy session. We're gonna bring some notes, right? Bring a pad and paper, pencil to the strategy session, because guess what? We're gonna take notes and we're writing down some things. Guess what else you have to bring? You have to bring some transparency. This is the tough one. We wanna know from both sides, where are we today? How much are you earning as of today? What are your earnings? What is your take-home pay? Well, what's your gross? And then what is your take-home pay? That applies for me and hubby, right? Then what's your credit score? Al and I use Credit Karma. Both of us, we pull up Credit Karma and we show each other, right? Then we want to talk about debt, right? How much is our mortgage? How much is the rent? How much is our expenses, car payments, what have you? We want to be transparent and talk realistically. And there's one more thing I want to add. I like talking about gratitude. What is something that has worked for us this year? What have we done right? Because listen, in our strategy session, it doesn't have to be all negative, right? We want to highlight something we've done right in the marriage. Remember, we started date night. Remember, we started praying together. We joined a church together. We deposited money into our savings account. Now we have an emergency fund. Remember, we paid off that credit card we talked about, or we took that vacation we discussed, right? So in the strategy session, it doesn't have to be all negative. We want to highlight the good because we're being transparent. So we want to know the good, the bad, and the growth opportunities. And so I think this is a good way to start. And Al and I often do a vision board with this strategy session. What do we want to accomplish from this strategy session? Where do we see ourselves going? And we want to put it down on paper, like I said. And again, we do a vision board. You don't have to. You can start small with just note taking. So remember, input from both of you are very necessary because nobody is in control of this. We are aligning our goals and our desires together. And as a woman, I'm going to tell you guys, this strategy session is foreplay. She's going to want you more because what's happening is you're making her feel secure, you're making her feel aligned with your goals and your vision, and it feels like teamwork. And for the guys, this is the opportunity for you to talk freely. And I'm hoping with no shame. If we made some mistakes last year with money and decisions, we're going to acknowledge it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to move on from it. And so after the strategy session, I know for Al and I, we do this annually. For you who may be starting fresh, you may want to sit and do this biannually, maybe every 6 months. We want you to revisit your notes and just touch bases with each other periodically and then make adjustments. Because listen, maybe you've paid off your debt earlier. So we're going to make adjustments because, you know, what we said in our notes, it may change. Whatever the case may be, make the adjustments and move forward together in love so that we can keep our marriages and our relationships full of love and commitment with each other. So I hope this episode bless you. And if it did, please like, subscribe, and share with another couple who may benefit from this information. Until next time, thank you for joining me for Level Up with Mona.